Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 14th Chapter, text number 31. Saviditvatha bharyayas tam nirbandham vikarmani natvadishtaya rahasi tayathopa viveshahi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Understanding his wife's purpose, he was obliged to perform the forbidden act, and thus, after offering his obeisances unto worshipable fate, he lay with her in a secluded place. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It appears from the talks of Kashyapa with his wife that he was a worshipper of Lord Shiva, and although he knew that Lord Shiva would not be pleased with him for such a forbidden act, he was obliged to act by his wife's desire, and thus he offered his obeisances unto fate. He knew that the child born of such untimely sexual intercourse would certainly not be a good child, but could not protect himself because he was too obligated to his wife. In a similar case, however, when Thakur Haridasa was tempted by a public prostitute at the dead of night, he avoided the allurement because of his perfection in Krishna consciousness. That is the difference between a Krishna conscious person and others. Kashyapa Muni was greatly learned and enlightened, and he knew all the rules and regulations of systematic life, yet he failed to protect himself from the attack of sex desire. Thakur Haridas was not born of a Brahmana family, nor was he himself Brahmana. Yet he could protect himself from such an attack due to his being Krishna conscious. Thakur Haridas used to chant the holy name of the Lord 300,000 times daily. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport.
Continuing the story of Kashyapa and Diti, what caused the birth of demons like Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. This story is narrated by Narada originally to Yudhishthira, because Yudhishthira wanted to know how is that the Lord is impartial. And how does he maintain his impartiality? By protecting the devotees and destroying the non-devotees or the demons. That is how the story of Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Narasimhadev comes. So there is this reason for the birth of these demons. Demons generally mean they are averse to the authority of Vishnu. They may be devotee of Lord Shiva, because Lord Shiva does not look for ahaituki apratihata. There are also very great devotees of Lord Shiva. And all devotees of Lord Shiva are not impersonalist, very devoted bhaktas of Lord Shiva. So, demons generally do not accept the control of Vishnu because the control is basically with Vishnu. Even though the act of maintenance he does, even though he is part of one of the three, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, he is considered the Almighty because he starts off the ingredients. Like Bhagavatam talks about the creation, Sarga, Visarga. Only when the ingredients are available, Brahma will put it together. Brahma probably is assembly unit. And the demigods are the supervisors. But the parts are available, just like nowadays you have a great shortage of automobiles, great shortage of computers. Why? Because chips are not available. So unless ingredients are available, others cannot do anything. So the ingredient supplier is Lord Vishnu. So Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, these great demons, their birth is very, very surprising. So the story goes on to say how the Lord creates situations for his enjoyment. In one sense, his whole creation is for his enjoyment. But we are not enjoying. We are suffering. Not only we are suffering, he has already claimed Dukhale Masasasham. Acha, you create and you also brand it. Then why create? Why create Dukhale Masashvatam? Like yesterday we were talking. Why the Lord is creating? He could have might as well not created. He could have might as well spared all his living entities from the trouble of undergoing all this tapasya. But the point here is the involvement of free love. Love is free. Love is a subjective thing. It is something connected to me. I decide whom I love. And that decision should be very free, unobstructed by anybody's influence, unaffected by any pressures. Because in the spiritual realm, where Lord is doing his Nitya Leela with his bhaktas, innumerable bhaktas, there is no question of love under pressure. If there is pressure, there is no love. Love is very spontaneous. There is no reason also sometimes. Love is always blind. Even the love with the Lord is also blind. But only thing is that we are not able to be blind because we have so many misunderstandings. Pure bhaktas, they don't know any knowledge, but they are attracted to the Lord. Automatically because of their previous situations. Now every living entity has to reach that love. That is only possible if we go through this churning of this 1.8, 1.4 million species of life. We may say 8.4 million species of life. 8.4 million species you want me to take to understand the subjects? Lord, I am already surrendered. I agree. Let me not go through 8.4 million species of life. I am ready right now. Chalo, I will follow you. But I will not. This is because of our tendency to cheat. Cheat ourselves. You ask any of us, I am a devotee. No, you are puffed up. I am not puffed up, I am a devotee. Immediately our answer is that, because nobody wants to accept the limitations. Right? The first thing is no, then probably later on, yes, Prabhu, maybe I am. Immediate reaction is always no. I am not. So this is the intrinsic nature of the living entity. So even if we today tell the Lord, please, I am ready, take me, sarva dharman parityaja. Living entity is not convinced. Because that how embedded is this interest for self-enjoyment. Self-enjoyment. Somewhere he thinks, no, I can enjoy on my own. Or I should be the center. There is no place for such a thought in Golok Vrindavan, in Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha. No anxiety. No problems in Vaikuntha. So the living entities have to go through this grinding process in this material world to eventually come to the stage of Sharanagati. So Sharanagati can be achieved only if he decides on his own, and that decision is based upon his experience of the opposite. Only when we experience the opposite, we will take the right thing. That's a tendency. So this 8.4 million species of life is given an opportunity for us to experience the opposite. Viparyaya. That is how the material world is created. It is naturally made like that. Anything you want to do, opposition. You want to look for enjoyment, suffering. You want to look for profit, loss. Material world is made in this viparya nature. So in this material world, we always face opposite. So we should not be surprised by facing opposition. We should be thinking, if something happens, what I think is a big thing. People say, I never thought it will happen, but it happened. Very rarely, sometimes it happens. And even if it happens for such a short time. So material world is a place where we have to face obstruction. Material world is a place where we have to face unexpected. Because only then it will go into us that no, this game will not work. This game of self-enjoyment, this game of trying to enjoy myself will not work. I need to be a partner in my Lord's enjoyment. Being a partner in my Lord's enjoyment, I also get enjoyment. So people do not understand this very intrinsic philosophical basis of part and parcel. That is why Prabhupada has explained it so much with so many very ordinary examples. Drop of ocean, water, spark of fire. All these are our nature. When this is a nature, our only enjoyment can be as long as I am in the fire. A spark cannot have any enjoyment outside the fire. Drop of sea water cannot remain as a drop unless it is within the sea, ocean. So that is how we are made. So for us to go back to Him, we need to go through these trials and difficulties and different janmas to come to understand that loving Him is the only way of my uninterrupted, permanent happiness. So we need to take this. So these processes are there in this material world because love has to be voluntarily exercised. So these are the devotees. Of course, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, they were devotees. So the Lord, for His enjoyment, created this. This whole world is created for the Lord's enjoyment. But while the Lord is enjoying, while the Lord is in His yoga nidra, that is why this is not done when He is awake. This is done when He is sleeping. Because the Lord sleeping is also absolute. When the Lord is sleeping, in His yoga nidra, this material creation is done. So He is giving an opportunity for the living entities in His dream to purify, to associate with Him in His wakeful stage, in Vaikuntha. So when we understand this world is made for that, we will not expect anything great in this life. It is not that we should be pessimistic. We can try to achieve, but always under the background that if the Lord wants. If the Lord wants. So a devotee always thinks, if the Lord wants, I succeed. If the Lord wants, this will happen. So we practice in our life, what are you going to eat? If the Lord wills, He will give me something. Sometimes some devotees have this tendency of always adding, by your mercy, Prabhu, by the mercy of the Lord. In one sense, it looks like artificial, but it's not artificial, it's actually the reality. Because only if the Lord wills, it will happen. So when the Lord wills, things can happen. So a devotee always keep that in mind, if the Lord wills, when the Lord wills. So He creates all these things. So this is a permanent contradiction, so-called contradiction in life, that the Lord creates knowingly that certain wrong things can happen in the material world, but still He does it. He doesn't stop it. This is how His impartiality is proved. Prabhupada gives a very simple example. What is it? The government is impartial. How do you say government is impartial? Government is impartial. As long as you pay the taxes, government doesn't catch you. As soon as you don't pay your tax, or as soon as you go against the rules of the government, The government is behind you. Now you cannot say that, why are you partial to me? Why don't you catch that man? I don't catch that man because he is following the rules. So we are impartial. That is why law has the eyes tied. Right? In the court, if you go, there's a lady standing with a balance and eyes closed. So without looking, you have to decide. The Lord does not have to tie his eyes. He is impartial. So he is impartial. The government is impartial. Just like that, the Lord says, if you're following me, then you are mine. If you're not following me, the laws will go against you. Don't blame me. So this way the Lord is very impartial through this principle. Lord Krishna, now you may say, here very clearly it is said that Kashyapa knew it is wrong to unite with my wife in an unspecified time. This will create unwanted population, or it will create dangerous population. But I surrendered to destiny. If he did not surrender to destiny, what will happen? If he said, no, I will not. No Hiranyaksha, no Hiranyakashipu. If no Hiranyaksha, no Hiranyakashipu, no Varaha, no Narasimha. If there is no Varaha, no Narasimha, no Prahlada. The whole Leela is disappeared. So Lord wanted it. Right? But Kashyapa is not thinking, oh, I have to do, then only Narasimha will come, then only Hiranyaksha will come. No, he doesn't think. He is going by his principle and is surrendering to his weakness. In that day, same subject was discussed by Dhritarashtra. Everybody went and said Vidura, everybody Vyasa, everybody went and said, this one son is only problem. Get rid of him, no problem. Only one person. 100 sons you have, what is your problem? One, give up one. No. I surrendered to destiny. Same words. But if he had given up Duryodhana, no Mahabharata, no Gita, most important subject will be not there. So it's a paradoxical thing that whether this way or that way. And this man Krishna, he wants a war because Gita has to be spoken. He wants a war because all these people have to be finished and burden of Prithvi has to be reduced. That is original purpose. He wants it, still he goes for a peace deal, peace negotiation. Suppose by chance in the peace deal, Duryodhana said, okay Krishna, I agree. Then no war. So this personality called Krishna acts in such a way that he is Trikalagnya. So you can say that okay, he knew that Duryodhana will not accept. But there is free will for Duryodhana. Duryodhana could have said, okay, accept. Or Dhritarashtra could have said, okay, I will get rid of Duryodhana. So the Lord's ways of functioning is very difficult to understand. That is why it is said that if the Lord wishes, if the Lord wants, if the Lord gives permission. Because everything is dependent upon one Lord and his autocracy. And to accept a man's autocracy is not very easy. Like if you have a Gunda here, everybody has accept his thing. Nobody will accept. They'll just wait when to throw him out. But if you are a devotee of the Lord, you have to accept the autocracy of the Lord. If I want, I'll do. Any of us like such a leader? You go to a person and say, I want this. If I want, I'll do. Everything he says like that. Lord is like that. And the devotee accepts his position. It's not easy. That is why this grinding process is needed in the material world. We should not blame when we get grinded. This is the process. This is the only process I will accept the Lord's supremacy. And my safety, my happiness solely depends upon my acceptance of Lord's supremacy. It's directly connected. Then what is the thing? So Krishna has this smile. We say, Krishna, you're always smiling. And your eyes are very compassionate. But you know I'm suffering. Because only by this suffering, I'll accept his authority. And when I accept his authority, I'm very happy. Anandamaya. Just like a small finger, Prabhupada gives example, goes on a strike. Everybody comes together, legs and hands and everything. Why the stomach is such a big thing? We should not support stomach. Let us go on a hunger strike. No more food for the stomach. Who will go weak? The hands and legs will go weak. So same way, the safety and the happiness and the health of the hand, of the finger, depends upon the health of the stomach. This is so connected. So this is how we are part and parcel of the Lord. Like it is said, pouring water on the roots of the tree is only way the leaves can be satisfied. It is foolish to go and water the individual leaves of the tree. Same way, when Krishna is the root of the entire existence, watering Him, satisfying Him is only way we get satisfied. So, coming to the point here, the story of Kashyapa and Diti, looking at a lady whose mind is influenced. Krishna is only influencing. Krishna is creating the three modes of materialization to function. Krishna is creating the old karmas to come up to fructification. But if you don't accept it, it is to your credit. If you accept it, you have to suffer the result. That is why this law of karma, Krishna tells Arjuna, don't try to understand. There are people in the material world who only accepts the karma. Great sadhus, they only accept the karma. They only try to stop karma. They don't accept the Lord's supremacy. A great determined tyagi does not accept Lord's authority. But a materialistic person struggling to take care of his family, but he accepts the Lord's will. Who is better? So according to Krishna, the person who accepts his will is better than a great tapasvi, a great brahmachari, a great spiritualist who does not accept Krishna's supremacy, giving importance only to karma. Karma is part of this material world. Rather, karma is the only thing which can be changed among the 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita, right? Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Out of these 5, the only thing which can be changed is karma. Kala cannot be changed, fixed. Jiva's position cannot be changed. Ishvara's position cannot be changed. Prakriti's niyamas and systems cannot be changed. But karma can be changed. So if you are only holding on to karma, my purpose of life is only to finish my karma, you are not a devotee. What happens to Bhagavan? What happens to the jiva and its connection with Bhagavan? So sometimes very surprising, Krishna does not give credit to these qualities of a man called determination, knowledge, tapasya, shaurya. But as soon as he sees somebody has this taste in loving him or being attracted to him, he immediately recognizes that. So this all means that in all the activities we do also, if there is no love for Krishna, it doesn't change us. We may be in the dress of a Vaishnava, we may be in the institution of Vaishnavas, we may be the doing work of the Vaishnavas, everything same, but there is no love. I am a separatist. I don't agree to Krishna. No point. But even if I have very less qualification, I do very simple things, but I have attraction for Krishna. That one small quality is more than enough to save us from greatest things. So we need to inculcate this loving the Supreme Lord. This loving the Supreme Lord inculcation can happen only when knowledge is there in us. When knowledge comes, then love follows that. Just like if you want to love somebody, you know about him. When you know about him, then you decide whether to love or not. But having loved, all the disqualification of a man becomes okay. I don't mind. He's a smoker, I don't mind. He has no job, I don't mind. Why? Love is blind. The same way the Supreme Lord. I don't know, I love you. Krishna is only looking for that particular quality of loving me. So much importance he gives to that. All other big things we have, qualities, is of no use. Because loving him is most important. Arjuna. What is the difference between Arjuna and Duryodhana? Simple thing. So what is the difference between a devotee and a demon? Simple thing. So Diti, whatever may happen, the Lord's decision, she is part of and playing that role, but we can also get the instruction that how a woman has to be treated, how in a family life we have to follow the rules and regulations. That is always there. So that instruction is also there. So a woman has to be taken care of in the family life. Woman has their own requirements. Some people only give credit to brahmacharya, but Vedas give credit to both. Many places it gives importance to brahmacharya. Same way, in some other places it gives importance to grahastha life. It says grahastha life is such a great ship to cross over the material suffering. But it is a fact. Why? Because in that life you understand what is the meaning of, or what is the insignificance of material life, of material sukha. Because he is achieving all material sukha according to his karma, rich man, poor man, whatever it is. Say he is a rich man, he has everything. I have everything. Very commonly we hear this. I have everything, but I have no sukha. And to become sukhi, only I became a grahasti. At the same time, it is a place of great responsibility. So grahastha ashram is given so much importance. Because if grahastha ashram is not there, there is no progenation. If there is no progenation, there is no human existence. Opportunity for utilizing the human body. So grahastha ashram many times is given so much importance. So that is why we cannot close our eyes to these realities. Some people don't want to even look at the face of a girl, woman. Part of God's creation. Suppose overnight I become a woman. Anything is possible. See? Get up. And then suddenly nobody deals with them. So women are not something to be rejected. They have to be accepted as creation of the Lord. As much as a Purusha is a creation of the Lord. What is woman? What is Stri? Actually, Stri is not the body. I can be a Stri also. Stri means a platform which propagates material expansion. It's a platform. Anybody who is only interested in material expansion is a Stri. If a Stri, in the body of a Stri, is only thinking about material, liberation from material world, no more Stri. There's a great debate among devotees, even great devotees, that sloka in Gita where Krishna says, Sri Sudra, what is that verse? So Shudras and Stri and lesser than they all can read the other things and also become devotees. Can you take that verse? No, I just want to read the translation. It's a big debate. Krishna is saying Stris are inferior. So we have to understand what is Stri. A Stri who has accepted Krishna as only shelter and who knows the Tattva is no more Stri. Verse and then the translation. Papa Yoniha. Sinful wombs. Born out of sinful wombs. Stri, Vaishya, Sudra. So Krishna is establishing, see, Sri, Shudra and Vaishyas are lower birth. Next verse.
How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service.
So even if Sri, Sudras, Vaishyas are considered as lower birth, when they become devotees, then they go to the next verse. Because there Krishna is saying, Raja Rishis, Bhaktas, Brahmanas. Brahmana anyway. So a Stri, Vaishya, Shudra, anybody has taken up a life of a devotee is no more Stri. Right? You cannot say that you are a woman. No, we don't say. In ISKCON we call women Matajis, but actually they are Prabhus. Prabhu means servant. I'm your servant. So we are their servant also. Sometimes what has happened is that by usage, ladies call each other Matajis, which is wrong. Men should call women Matajis. Women cannot call another woman Mataji. They should call Prabhu. In Prabhupada's time, every Mataji was calling each other Prabhus. But it has changed somehow. Worse is this. A husband saying, my Mataji is coming. So we simply use words without, understanding the meaning. How can a husband say my Mataji? So Prabhupada said that every man, every person, Purusha should look at a girl as a Mataji. Even a 5-year-old girl is a Mataji, because she is a prospective Mataji. So we give woman that position of mother. It is not a designation, I have become a Mataji. It's a way of looking. We look every woman as a Mataji. So they are devotees. So if you are not looking at the face of Mataji, then Krishna will think, what kind of a devotee are you? We don't look at the woman's face any other way other than as a Mataji. So this big misunderstanding is there among woman and man. We have to understand properly. The problem is not in the creation of the body. The problem is in the way we look at it. Again, I don't look at it with enjoying tendency. And the most pure relationship is that of a mother. Nobody thinks of the mother as an object of enjoyment. So Stri is not considered less, in any way less than a Purusha. But if a Purusha acts like a Stri, he is worse than a woman. Stri is an enjoying mentality. In that way, in modern age, Stris are no better than men in enjoyment. They are sometimes worse than men, karmis. So they are no more Stris. They have the enjoying tendency. Nature is created in such a way that one is enjoyed, one is enjoyed. One is a protector, one is a protected. But now in Kali Yuga, everything is ulta. Right? Sometimes even IPS laws are not there to take care of such things. They have to create new laws. So Stri is nothing to do with the body. It's a mentality. And a Stri is equally rightful to become a devotee like a man. Yes, said everything, there is a weakness in a woman because she is more emotional than a man. Man is naturally renounced. Woman is not naturally renounced. That is why women are not allowed to go to crematoriums. Because they don't want women to know the truth. They want women to be always materialistic. Because if women are not materialistic, no growth will happen. Like the husband says, wife will say, no, buy this, buy that. Husband says, why you want? No, buy this, buy this. Expand. Each day 5 items, expand. After 1 house, 2 house, 3 house. Because she is supposed to expand. That Shakti is there for expansion. Man will say, no need, no need, no need, enough, enough, enough. He is always renunciant. So in a man's body, there is a renunciation is a little easier. Woman's body is more mentally, emotionally weaker. Hence, she is to be protected by the father, husband, or the sons. That is all the differences. Otherwise, there is absolutely no difference. But in Kali Yuga, Prabhupada did not consider the difference. He thought man and women all are same in the West event. Hence, he allowed women to be in the ashram. Many people don't understand why women are there in the ashram. Because in Kali Yuga, both are same. Both are equally materialistic. Both are equally enjoying tendency. No difference. So there's no question of blaming a woman for problems, which is the usual case. Always blame. So you cannot blame Diti here. Woman has the requirements. That has to be taken care of. But the problem is that it's a wrong time. So Kashyapa is saying no. Kashyapa is saying, okay, what to do? So one side it looks like a weakness of Kashyapa, other side it looks like the Lord's plan is taking shape. How do we understand this? Only one way. Remember the story of the cobbler and the Brahmana, right? Narada went to the Brahmana, Narada went to the cobbler. Brahmana said, what did you see the Lord doing? The Lord was putting an elephant through the eye of a needle. Brahmana is saying, Narada, do you want to play this trick on me? The Lord has no other work. He is Lokapala, he is Maheshwara, he is a maintainer, he is a Purusha, he has enough things to do, not sitting and putting an elephant inside eye of a needle, which is never possible. Acha. Go to the cobbler. What was my Lord doing there, Narada? Threading a elephant through the eye of a needle. Wow. Great person. Because only he can do what is impossible. So Narada says, do you believe that? Why do you believe? Common sense. This big tree I am sitting under is inside a small seed. Right? So why can't he put an elephant through the small hole? He can do anything. To accept that position of the Lord that he can do anything. In him truth is false, false is truth. In him good is bad, bad is good. In him existence is there, non-existence is there. He is the sum total of all dualities, but equally peaceful. Any duality peacefully settled in him. You are a thief running away from the battle. Ranachor. No problem, I am Ranachor. Big thing. We also name children Ranachor. Many of them don't know the meaning. Running away from a battlefield. Most infamy thing for a Kshatriya to do. But the Lord will do that. He doesn't care. And you put him in a vigraha and say, hey, Ranachor, Ranachor, Ranachor. He is very happy. Everything infamy gets fame in him. So only a devotee can accept that position of the Lord. And that is what the Lord is waiting for. Can you accept everything in me? That is a test for Draupadi. Your mana is important or your surrender to me is important. You are with cloth, you are without cloth. It doesn't make difference to me. What makes difference to you? So do you want me or do you want to be protective of your mana? That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only said 6 verses, and the most important verses is Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. You want to look your mana or you want to do sadahari kirtana? Because unless you give mana to everybody and don't look after your mana, you cannot chant Sankirtan Harinam 24 hours. One of the conditions to do Harinam, like Haridas Thakur as mentioned here, he was chanting 300,000 names whole day. Nothing else is Nama. And for a man who has Krishna, Stri, Purusha, everything is same. He doesn't need to separately endeavor for controlling his senses. That is why, like we said yesterday, that is not important. Establishing the Lord as everything is more important than controlling his senses, which is important. But unnecessary getting anxiety because of that doesn't make solve the problem. Time has to be utilized in putting the Lord as a center. And that can happen only when we have a disciplined life and a life which is chosen by others for us. This is why brahmacharya. What is the word brahmacharya? Na? Samitpani srotriyam brahmanishtam. A boy goes to the Guru's house and he surrenders. He does the job of the Guru. He does exactly what the Guru wants. Guru may give him food, Guru may not give him food. Guru may give him knowledge, will not give him knowledge. Guru will keep him like a laborer for 50 years. There are many stories in Mahabharata, many stories in Puranas, where Guru has kept Shishyas for so many years, and at the end he'll give his verdict and a great position for the disciple. It's a test for the disciple. So do you think that we have no test in our day-to-day life? We are also put to test when we do service, when we go out, when we try to do something for the Lord. We have to accept it, but we try to be dejected. So, point here with all these stories is that, are we ready to accept per se what Bhagavatam says without questioning? Are we ready to accept the Lord's position and His behaviors with me, whether it involves fame or infamy? Am I ready to accept Him or not? This only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Gaudiya philosophy gives opportunity for. The last tinge of pride is taken away. Aslishyava Padaratam Pinastama Marmahatam Katotuva Yata Tata Va Vidadatu Lampato. You accept me, you don't accept me, you kick me, you embrace me. Prananatha. You're always my Prananatha. So to come to that conclusion is the purpose of Bhagavatam. Because coming to that conclusion is for our well-being. And to understand this, 8.4 million species. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Prabhu. The Kashyapa Muni here described that was not as strong as Haridas Thakur, in Krishna consciousness perspective. Kashyapa Muni.
Kashyapa Muni is not as strong as
Haridas Thakur. That's what
Prabhupada says.
Prabhupada says. And was not. And Prabhupada also comments that he's a worshipper of Shiva also.
It looks like he is not concluding.
So that it is. We also know that Lord appears. Chooses his devotees as his father and mother. So when Lord appeared as Vamanadev, is that the same Kashyapa or some different Kashyapa?
Same. Because that was with Aditi. Kashyapa has many wives. Aditi and Diti are sisters.
Yes, Prabhu. Then how can
Diti's womb gave rise to all demons, and Aditi's womb gave rise to all the demigods.
But
so when all the demigods come, it comes through. So we cannot say that he is not a devotee. It's a very valid question you are saying. So Kashyapa and Aditi. Prishnigarbha. As Prishnigarbha, right? Or no, sorry, as Ajita.
As Vamana.
And also and other one was Swayambhuva Manu, right? That is Swayambhuva Manu. As Vamana came out of Kashyapa and Aditi as a brother of Indra. He is called Upendra. He is a brother of Indra. Indra's mother is Aditi. Vamana's mother is Aditi. Father is Kashyapa.
So are they pure devotees then?
See, what does pure devotee means? And Kashyapa does not have to be a Sudama. Kashyapa is a devotee in his own rights. So we don't have to think about what is the status of a pure devotee, and what is the devotee we see in Kashyapa. Kashyapa is a great Brahmana. But when he is uniting with Diti in this state, that's what I said. The Lord has decided. Or Kashyapa has given up. Now, which is the truth? Whether Kashyapa gave up because of Diti, or the Lord made him do that. This is what we say. You have to accept the Lord's decision. Lord decided to take birth from Aditi and Kashyapa. Lord decided to take birth from Manu. Lord decided to take birth from Devaki and Vasudeva. He decided. 3 times he wanted, he gave them opportunity. So why Kashyapa? See, because our mind works in such analytical thing, right? Pass aa gaya, report aa gaya, naam likha hai. How did he get 1 mark more than me? Not possible. Because he does not do anything. How did he get? So we want to question all this thing. How did Kashyapa become? Accept. Accept Bhagavatam's words. We don't analyze. Okay, then we can ask a question. What an anyaya happened? Vasudeva and Devaki in the jail got Krishna, but they didn't get the opportunity to grow him up. That went to Yashoda and Nanda. Lord decided. Because the Lord has the 6th opulence, which is renunciation. We cannot match his power of renunciation. We can give 100 crores tyaga, but you will never be a tyagi like Krishna. That is why he is called Anadi Brahmachari. Brahmachari. He has done everything that a brahmachari should not do. Anadi Brahmachari. Contradictions. This is the Lord's situation. Every contradiction comes in him. But it's peacefully settled. Because he has his higher purpose.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Prabhu, when Hiranaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they were the Jai Vijayas in the earlier thing. So, how to understand the Leelas, because devotees become demons. And sometimes we take it as achintya.
Exactly what I am saying. We cannot understand. We should understood that we cannot understand and say that I understood.
So, achintya.
That is the Lord's position. Lord is saying, I may do anything. Will you accept or not? He says,
so then some rasas, then how to understand the rasa of that leela? Because when we take it as achintya, so sometimes we miss out the rasa part of that leela. So, because always it is...
See, the leelas are not for us to enjoy the rasa. The leelas are for us to repeat so the Lord enjoys. This is another contradiction. We think that I am going to temple, I am reading Bhagavatam, I am chanting, I am dancing, all for my enjoyment. No. We are not the enjoyers here. We are here to give him enjoyment. I am dancing because he likes me to see me dancing. But for me, am I dancing better than others? Am I singing better than others? This is our self-centered enjoyment tendency. Now this is a tendency we are trying to kill. But somehow we don't understand that. But the purpose of doing everything in devotional service, for us, in putting a good dress, going in front of the Lord. The Lord wants to see me in good dress. So devotee supposed to decorate so much and then only go in front of the Lord. So he doesn't feel. So there was a great devotee. He is alankara priya. He wants all kind of alankara. So people understood that he is a great devotee. One boy came and asked, why are you a devotee? You are doing such alankara. He said, I am doing this because when I go in front of my Lord, he is smiling. If I don't go properly, alankaram, he doesn't like. So I am there for him. So to reach that stage of giving exclusive enjoyment on me to him, because we are all interested in enjoying. I be the center of this 100 people sitting here. Right? Rikshawala is also same, a Pandit is also same. A Pandit is also looking for recognition, a Rikshawala is also looking for recognition in his own field of work. What is the difference? So only a devotee can do this, that I am not the center. Mana, apamana, whatever you want, I will face it, it is for you. If it gives enjoyment for you, I will do anything. Like the story we have of Brahmanas and the gopis. One Krishna had a headache. So the Vaidya says the only way to rid him of his headache is dust from the lotus, from the feet of his devotees who want to volunteer. Brahmanas ran away. Because Brahmanas know, if I give my dust from my feet, I am going to go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. Right? So it's self-centered. Gopi said, how many kilos you want? Scrape it. You will go to hell. You go to hell or anywhere I can go, I know from Krishna's headache should go. So this is a whole difference in the attitude of a devotee and a Vedic. You may be a Brahmana, you may be a great person, but no love. And Krishna is saying, I don't want your Panditya, I don't want your Vedya, I don't want your Tyaga, I don't want anything. I want love. That is not there. Just like the cobbler and the Brahmana. Brahmana is a great person and he is convinced that he cannot thread a elephant through an eye of the needle. But a cobbler is every day doing that only, eyeing, threading, and he thinks that elephant can go inside the hole. Now this is a question of faith. Faith is not coming out of Gyan. Faith can't come from Gyan. Understanding can come from Gyan. Faith cannot come from Gyan. Faith can come only by association with people who have faith. Hence bhaktas associate and learn from others and increase their faith in Krishna. Faith is blind. Faith is blind. You know reason for faith. No logic will stand. Philosophy, yes, there will be tarka, you can explain, you can come to a conclusion to some extent. But faith, that is why the Lord of faith is Radharani. You have faith is coming out of heart, not out of the head. Right? Faith is a question of heart. So in your faculty of feeling, willing and thinking process, right? Thinking and willing are a different faculty. But feeling is a faculty of the heart. And faith is in feeling. Faith is a feel. It's not that I don't think faith, I don't will faith. No, I don't feel faith. Or I feel faith. It's a question of heart. And that can be granted only by blessing. You can get intellectual things. You can do karma, big things, all by your ability. But that which is connected to Krishna is faith. That you can't capture. That has to be given. So that is why blessings of Vaishnavas, association of Vaishnavas, Seva, Bhagavatam says, Tat Saddhadhano Manayo Vasudeva Kadharuchi Notpadiyet idam seva. Unless you do seva to such people who have faith in Krishna, you will not get that asakti to hear the names of Krishna. So the only thing which can help us is faith, which is coming from blessings and mercy. Hence sadhu seva. Sadhu seva, sadhu association, all this is so important to get that faith, which I cannot get on my own. Panditya I can get. I can do great things for Krishna. All based on my karma. But faith is not based on karma. And that what you need is faith. And that is only by crying. Those who know how to cry will get faith. Some people say, how do I cry? You don't know how to cry? Then you cry to know how to cry. You don't know that? Then you cry to know to cry. So unless we are humbly standing without any powers in front of the Lord and ask His support, we cannot get faith. Hare Krishna.